Welcome back to Full Cup Astrology. I'm Jen Keen, and this is a video all about the Capricorn new moon at 9 degrees Capricorn happening December 30th at 2:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This new moon in Capricorn has extra significance because of the recent Pluto transition. Pluto just completed a long journey since 2008 in Capricorn. So, for all of us in one part of our lives, we have just graduated from a complete psychological transformation in a Capricornian way, slow and steady, grueling perhaps at times, nonetheless, an extra impact on these new moons that we are about to have December 30th, the one in Capricorn, and then in January, a month from now, we will have an Aquarius new moon, and that'll be a new moon that gives us more of a boost in that Aquarius part of our chart where Pluto is now. Though this is a new moon in Capricorn, there will be a flavor of Capricorn energy in what is unfolding right now. But I think what's even more important is this configuration. This is a rectangle with a cross in it. And that is a very significant astrological signature. This has the potential to bring something very unique and radical, and it's very Aquarian and Uranian in its energy. It's this gifted formation of creative ideas and something that is innovative and fresh. Also, there has been a lot of talk about the Pluto-Mars opposition. This is happening a few times. We had one in the fall. It is going to be precise on December 31st. I think this Pluto energy and this rectangular configuration is a lot stronger than just the new moon that's happening. So I'm going to talk about them all as one topic in this video. As usual, I will get into the sign by sign, but first I would like to talk about the importance of this significant rectangle and the significance that it has for the new beginning that a lot of us are trying to get off the ground right now. With a new moon in Capricorn, the question is, how can we push through, climb that ladder, be slow and steady and diligent and careful? Even though it's a new moon and it is in Capricorn, it is still the Capricorn and Cancer axis that is highlighted, as well as the piece that Mars is going to retrograde back into Cancer shortly and be in opposition to the point of this new moon very soon. And because it's in opposition to Pluto right now, it is such a big player in this new moon that I do want to really incorporate this axis of oppositions. We have figured out a new way of doing Capricornian energy with all of this Pluto work. And I think what is really important about what came out of that work is that, yes, we push through, but we also make room for sensitivity. We make room for emotional healing. We make room for a time out. We make room for family. We make room for ourselves. And that's a lot. I mean, I know one person, two people that come to mind that just knock that out of the park when it comes to juggling family and self-care and managing children and all of that. It's not an easy feat. So we are like the little deer standing up on our legs for the first time, a little wobbly, a little unsure. It's the holiday season, so no, but I think a lot of people are getting thrown into challenging situations. And even if it just means being busier this time of year, that's challenging enough. And like I spoke about in the last video, the holidays have the same quality of when you're trying to make things really good, and the expectation is that you're going to experience a lot of joy, and for some reason that doesn't happen. It sometimes can be a little bit more challenging to process. But back to this new moon in Capricorn. So a new way of achieving, pushing through, and getting things done while balancing all these other moving pieces of life. Thinking about this new moon and thinking about all of the pieces of juggling a new way of pushing forward, the opposition that Mars is doing with Pluto, and how that really fires up the focus that we are wanting to put on our psychological transformation. We're feeling passionate about it. We are getting thrown into situations that are going to activate all of the shadowy circumstances that allow us to do the process that we're being drawn to. In thinking about this new moon, a situation came to mind that I would like to share as part of explaining the new trajectory that I think we're on. Someone said to me that they thought that the younger generation was too soft and that there's some value in this chin up attitude every day, that you just kind of push through, you trudge forward, and you put a smile on your face and you don't sweat the small stuff. And that there's something about the quality of focusing too much on pain and hurts that was oversensitive and creating more problems than value. That really unnerved me at the time, and I kind of knew why, but I didn't fully, and so I've been thinking about it ever since. And that was probably 2 or 3 months ago at this point. And Capricorn can be a bit of that energy, right? That chin up, let's just push through. If you're tired, doesn't matter. Work needs to get done. If you are no longer enjoying life, doesn't matter. Work still needs to get done. That is something that we are balancing now with more of a nurturing contribution to that from Cancer on the other side of the axis. And so what can we do around this time of the year, and I think for the entire year moving forward, that allows more of that balance in pushing through in a different way? Yes, we push through, but yes, we take the time that we need to do it. Capricorn doesn't need to go fast. In fact, the slower we go and the less anxious we are about it in the process, the better it gets done the first time around and the more efficient we can really be. So alongside of this new moon, we have this Mars-Pluto opposition in this rectangular shape that's going on that involves the North and South Node and Neptune in positive energy. Whatever tension is building with Mars and Pluto in your life, this is really having a positive impact on the direction that you are going in on the axis of the nodes, which is still in Aries and Libra. Neptune is also giving energy right now that is quite creative. So this is a time where you can feel more creative with your words, with your approach to things. You might be feeling, for depending on where this is showing up in your chart, this Pluto-Neptune sextile, which is a beautiful energy, can be very creative and transformational. You can find some new energetic ideas and downloads that really help transform anything that you're working on right now. The Pluto-Mars opposition is an opportunity to work with anger, to work with the frustrations and emotions and passion that come up inside of ourselves. Whatever tools are out there, whatever you're working with, doing that to the best of our abilities during this time. Another conversation that came up with somebody was about some of the real pain and abuse that can happen in families, and I'm not going to get into it. But I want to mention at least that because this is just a challenging time for some people when it comes to connections. And so I want to at least make a mention of that, especially with this Pluto-Mars opposition, that there's very real and difficult pain out there. And the chin-up approach isn't the way to healing anymore. Necessary in some situations. Another piece that really got me thinking this week, as I have been focusing so much on emotional processing over the last couple of months while I was away in Australia, as some of you know, and back in Canada for a week now, which has been lovely. I'm happy to be home. I knew that coming back after such a long time away would have its adjustments, but I didn't expect some of the things to unfold that did, and it left my first week very frazzled. For the most part, I felt like I was integrating and riding the waves fairly well. And then something happened on day 4 or 5 that just pulled me under the wave really hard. I couldn't separate myself from the anger and frustration that was happening. I was agitated and I had to get things done. And my energy was, the energy of it all was seeping through my pores, and I wasn't hiding it from anyone by this day. And I started to feel bad about it. I started to feel a lot of shame for letting that take over. It wasn't even something that would be a big deal to some people, but it was a big deal to me. And then at the end of the day, after the adrenaline in my body really started to settle, because I just had an adrenal spike like I haven't experienced in a really long time, and I really had to question why I would let myself get into that sort of state after I thought that I would hold on to this Zen Byron Bay version of myself for much longer. But it does happen. And I don't think avoiding it or pretending that I don't have those emotions or the chin up approach. And I just had to go through it. The day was what it was. It wasn't perfect. And in the end, I feel like I can let it go. My point here is that it doesn't have to be smooth just because you're doing a lot of emotional processing. And we just went through Pluto and Capricorn, which is a big psychological transformation. It doesn't have to look pretty and perfect every single day. It is a very real human experience to not feel good and to have very different emotions. And unfortunately, this time of year, there's somewhat of a push through, which is this Capricorn energy. But we're going to figure out how to push through and get things done in a slightly different way than we did before 2008. That's the point of this full new moon. Let me know how this resonates for you, what end of 2024 kerfuffles your life could be going through, and maybe how you figured out how to accept that sometimes you get sucked into the rip curl and other times you catch a great wave, and that's just how it goes. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season. I have 2025 planners ready if you would like a mini new moon and full moon reading bi-weekly for all of 2025 for your sign. So I've done them sign by sign. I've also written up a month by month guide for Mercury, so you can see what Mercury is doing every month, how to manage Mercury energy at its best, and how to roll with it when it's not in optimal functioning. I find Mercury energy to really manage our productivity and conversations and some important stuff. The three things that I check before I make any decision at all are what size is the moon? Is it waxing or waning? Is the moon void of course? Is it changing signs? And what is Mercury doing? Those are the three big things, and that's what I have included in this planner so that you can plan ahead for 2025 and plan for selling or buying a vehicle, big launches or little launches with your business, and anything else that really matters and is important to you. There's some relationship stuff in there too. And as always, if you would like a reading from me, check out my link in the description below. And now let's get into your sign. Hi, Gemini. This is 8th house new moon for you. So this is all about resources. This is money from other people. This is the support and deep intimacy that you build with other people, the support you receive from other people, especially a significant partner in your life. This is the house of Pluto. This is psychological transformation. And you, more than other signs, because Pluto was just in this part of your chart, you have gone through a huge transformation of psyche. And this is the moment that you really get to put what you've learned into practice. Start something brand new with this graduation diploma behind you. So what that means is that your intimacy is going to get better. Your ability to receive support from other people will improve. This can be financial or energetic. They usually are very tight-knit and hand in astrology. The Pluto-Mars opposition that's heating up right now has to do with your beliefs about the world. the way that you communicate them, the way that you articulate, the way that you express yourself. This could have to do with Mars in your third house, with transportation or vehicles for some of you, short distance travel, conflicts with neighbors, close relatives, siblings, or the pressure and the passion, something is heating up in this part of your chart. And it's heating up in a way that is changing your belief systems on the other side of things. So use any conflict that shows up right now or anything that rattles you or gets you very passionate. Passionate can be in a good way too. Take this as an opportunity to reconsider the way that you view the world, the way that you think about things, perhaps your spiritual beliefs. If you are somebody who is in writing or publishing, this could be a really significant time of change for you. And this could be a time where the things that you publish are really different and changing in some way. But the energetic underlying themes are about taking in foreign concepts and making a new picture, a new eagle eye view of the world. So it's like you're going up to another level higher, you can see that much further, and you need to integrate all of that extra information into your new story of what the world is all about. This is a time where people could be seeing you in a very dreamy light with Neptune in your 10th house and sending positive energy to this Pluto transformation. It looks like friends and networks and community are going well. This is the North Node in your 11th house, and it's part of the rectangle, beautiful configuration that is happening. So there's a positive emphasis on connection and friendships and networks, which makes sense because I think that when you are changing your perspectives and all of this ninth house stuff, gathering more foreign information and concepts, that usually has to do with getting it from other people. So there's some connection there of expanding in your community right now. You could be changing your perspectives about romance and pleasure, money. Venus is in your ninth house for the time being. There is a square to Uranus in this configuration. Venus at the time of the new moon is moving out of this square, but it still just did happen. So there could be a flavor of unexpected financial situation, unexpected romantic situation, something that doesn't necessarily feel good or go well. It's unexpected in a way that causes more of an uncomfortable friction. This is also part of the purpose of transforming how you view these Venusian topics, being love, pleasure, romance, dating, food, money. There is an element of those things being part of the topics of what's changing for you right now in your belief systems. Because the new moon is in your 8th house, these belief systems that are changing are also going to help deepen your connections with other people and your resources and the financial support you receive from another. Keep that in mind too with the conflicts that do show up. And take any conflict as an opportunity, as you already do, Gemini, to gather in more information and build a bigger picture. Venus will be in a much better position in January, so wait until January for more purchases if you can. You're probably just going to enjoy them better. And it looks like Mercury is in a lovely position right now for Geminis. You're healing wounds around community and connection, and there's good energy with Mercury for communication, especially about ninth house topics because it's in Sagittarius. This means that there's going to be more of an element in the air of everybody wanting to talk about the bigger picture, new ideas, gathering information. Everyone's going to be in a more curious, optimistic state of mind, which goes really well with Gemini. I hope that this is going really well for you, Gemini. Have a wonderful transition into the new year, and I will see you next time. Hi, Cancer. This is a new moon in your 7th house of partnerships. This is a wonderful brand new beginning for committed relationships, karmic relationships, significant business partners. This can be a spectrum of significant people in your life, but most likely it is going to be a long-term relationship. The area of life that is really heating up for you, though, the new beginning is significant, no doubt. You are ready for a new partner. You are ready for someone who supports you, who is energetically balanced with you, who can go into deep, intimate places with you, because that is where you are going to be growing next. That is the area of focus for Pluto. That is where you have a Pluto-Mars opposition happening right now. And so whoever is coming into your life or bringing in new energy, if you are already in a committed relationship, you have likely done a crazy amount of transformation and you are ready for the next level. Most Cancerians out there will likely have changed partners once Pluto has gone through the 7th house, but that's not always the case. Either way, this is a time when Pluto wants to transform the energy between you and another person. And that's what this Mars Pluto opposition is all about. Right now, you have Venus in the 8th house as well. So when it comes to money from other people, intimacy, there's pleasure and beauty in that part of your chart. There is some emphasis on foreign places, foreign people, foreign concepts. This is where Neptune is for you right now. So there is some dreaminess. There's a real fantasy and dreamlike quality about things that are different from your regular life. The purpose of things being foreign and new is that we integrate new things and we change our beliefs, we change our concepts of the world and how we view the world. So that's a bit of what you're going through. There could be some fogginess of how you really view things, and that is going to come together and crystallize in a new way in 2025. But for now, enjoy this dreamlike pleasure that you're getting from experiencing something new. Maybe some of you are even traveling. So if you are traveling, there is a Saturn square Jupiter right now in your 12th house. There could be some slowing down of that process. Maybe you're planning travel or overseas things and Saturn is putting the brakes on a little bit. Maybe you were spending more time in that Neptunian energy, which is the 12th house, where you are meditating and spending more time in the bedroom, being more creative and dreamlike in your own energy. And Saturn is slowing that down, but in a way to crystallize and make whatever it is that you're working on with 12th house topics very steady and strong and long lasting. So that all could play out in overseas travel for some of you. For those where that's not the case, there is likely more of an energetic, subconscious flavor to some of what you're going through with these overarching topics right now. And they will all somewhat tie into this partnership energy and this 2nd and 8th house axis where you are being challenged in the energy that you're exchanging with another person, as well as how you spend your own money. This is only going to apply to a very small portion of you. But if you are trying to hide money overseas, or there's overseas business and foreign coworkers or business associates, there could be some tough lessons that come up around that. And again, that's only going to apply to a small group of you, but it stood out, so I'll just mention that. Overall, Cancer, this is a new moon where you really want to spend some time thinking about everything that you have incorporated in your psyche and in your being since 2008. And how does that apply to your relationships now? How can that create something brand new when it comes to partnership that really suits your needs, because you are going to have a much clearer idea of what you need and an even clearer idea of how to embody the psychology of what is going to attract exactly what it is that you want. So have fun with this one, Cancer. I think this is going to be a real standout new moon for you. Because of that rectangle pattern, there's likely something very innovative that's happening with intimacy and foreign places, and really aligning your beliefs about the world, your spiritual concepts, and that of another, and in something brand new and innovative and creative, which is going to add a really nice, complex, interesting new flavor to your partnerships. Thank you so much for being here, Cancer. It is so fun to chat astrology with you. If you would like to see ahead for 2025 or a personal reading with me, check out the links below for my 2025 planners and astrology readings. And I will see you next time. Leo, you are one of the stars of the show. This is not a new moon on your axis. It is a new moon in your 6th house. So this is going to be about work, daily routines. You are ready to kick it up a notch and make your routine, your daily life, your health habits really work for you. But why I say that you're the star of the show is that Mars is finishing its retrograde in your sign, and Pluto is in your partnership house in this opposition that we've been building up to and working with since the fall. This is an ongoing story that is going to have another hit in the new year, but for now, there's something about the passions between you and another person that are really going to start to transform your relationships. Really pay attention to anything that gets you fired up right now, that motivates you, that makes you feel passionate and inspired, as well as what frustrates you, what angers you, what makes you want to put up walls and boundaries, what's frustrating. This is all so important right now. And Pluto, and it is not just about the quality and these emotions that are coming up and the way that you deal with them, which is going to be a piece of what you're going to be trying to work through. Because Mars energy isn't easily ignored. It is retrograde, so some of this energy is softened compared to when it comes back direct again in the new year through this part of your chart. But Mars and Pluto oppositions really make us pay attention. And this is something, because it's on your 1st house and 7th house of self and partnership, this is going to make you pay attention to partnerships. And you are on the long haul journey of transforming how you operate in your significant partnerships. And this is a really important moment in that 20-year story. So what's going on in your world, Leo? Let me know in the comments below, because whatever it is that's showing up in relationships is going to help you change your routines. It might be part of an important piece in a new work or job related matter. Venus is finishing its transit in your 7th house too. So for the last month, you have really been enjoying more pleasure with partnerships. And then shortly after this new moon, Venus will be in your 8th house, which means that you'll be getting more pleasure from deeper intimacy. It's not going to be just the superficial hanging out with your partner kind of stuff. You're going to want what's underneath. You're going to want that psychological connection. It can be psychologically transforming for you, and it can be a situation that brings more resources to you as well. This is also, for Leos, a really healing time with Mercury sending a trine to Chiron. This means that conversations that happen, because there's so much relationship stuff let up for you, if you are dating and meeting someone new, then conversations that are fun and playful and maybe with someone you're dating or infatuated with, those are healing your belief systems. So they're not just fun conversations about getting to know someone. Around this new moon, they're actually quite important in healing a bigger picture wound for you, a bigger picture story. And with relationships, there could be some unexpected change with your status or your career connected to relationships too. That's the Venus Uranus square that has just happened before this new moon. Venus Uranus squares won't always be felt, and sometimes they can be something pretty small. But this is happening in your 7th and 10th house, which are part of the main axes of the wheel. So I do think that that is going to be more felt by Leos. This could be something unexpected and uncomfortable in a relationship setting, and it's somehow affecting your career or your public image. If that happens, it looks like it's a piece of another story that has to do with your daily habits and your health and your belief systems and how you operate in relationships, and maybe even your public image, especially for a Leo, because for you, how you're seen by the world and your image is a big a big part of the energy that a Leo puts forward. Each birth chart is going to present that differently, but that is just one of the qualities of Leo energy, is that there is an appreciation for public image. So as always, anything at this time that catches you off guard, feels a little uncomfortable, just throws you off kilter for a few minutes, think of that as something that is trying to change your perspective, hopefully soften the experience a little bit because it'll have purpose. Thank you so much for being here. It is so fun chatting astrology with you. Please let me know what is going on with Leos in the comments below. And if you would like to process more with me for a one-on-one reading, my website link is in the description below. And I have 2025 planners on sale right now. So they are $29.95 Canadian per sign. And those will give you a new moon and full moon mini reading for Leo every 2 weeks of all of 2025 in a PDF, as well as Mercury each month and how to take advantage of that. The top things that I check before making any important decision, as well as the void moon, which I do talk about in there too. So again, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful transition into 2025. And I can't wait to talk about the new year ahead every step of the way. I'll see you next time. Virgo, this is a fifth house new moon for you, and you're ready for it. You are ready for a whole new way of having fun, deriving pleasure, expressing your God given talents, maybe children, whatever this fifth house complete Pluto transformation was for you from 2008 in any of those topics, including hobbies and creativity. You are starting a brand new chapter that is all about you and the joy that you get from just having real, natural, pure fun and an expression of yourself. And that aligns so well with Virgos because Virgo is this sign of simplicity and purity, and it is the sign of the Virgin. And that means that Virgo has this very bare bones quality about them. And pleasure isn't always seen that in those simplest forms. So now you get to have this more raw and authentic expression of yourself, and you are having more fun in that space as just being a Virgo. This could have to do with children too. So this could be a new beginning with your children if you already have them, or a new chapter where children are coming into your life, or a new business, which is our baby. It's our creative project and something that we birthed into this world and really treat like a child. So you might have something that you are embarking on that is about your creative expression. And this Pluto Mars opposition for you is your day-to-day life and your rest, your retreat, your intuition, faraway places with Mars, losses, your ability to see into the energetic realms. And that takes time and rest and seclusion sometimes. So it's that balance of seclusion and work and service and getting things done. You're getting a beautiful influence from Neptune in your seventh house of partnerships and the axis of the second and eighth. So money, support, energy, the foods that you eat, the energy that is translating through your system is working really well for you. And this is a great way to start off Pluto in your sixth house because your habits and routines, those things really matter in the energy that you have and how much you have to bring forward into this world. So there's a dance of that going on. Venus has been touring through your sixth house as well, where Pluto is. So you've your pleasure has been more in your daily habits and routines. Maybe you're happy to get back to a cozy routine of some kind. Maybe your health habits are changing, or something from your health is getting a healing touch with Venus, this part of your chart right now. Your day-to-day life could just feel more pleasurable. And then when that happens, now Venus will be moving into your seventh house, where partnerships become the area of pleasure for you. A lovely phase to look forward to, and when your experience with other people has a Venusian touch. Mercury, your ruler, is in your fourth house. I think that this is all about new wisdom coming in that's transforming your inner world. That's probably having a really positive effect on your health and your routines. It is also having a positive effect on the management of resources between your second and eighth house. It's healing wounds for you, it's healing your psyche. It's either the words that you are using, so maybe your self talk is improving, or it is information that you're gathering that you are applying to your internal world. Probably both. For you, Virgo, I don't take this new moon lightly. This, even though this is a fifth house new moon, great place to have a new moon, by the way. It's not hitting your axes, depending on the degrees for each person, there may be more significant impact. But what I think is so significant about this is that it's health and work and routine and partnership. And these are things that really matter. So it's the side stories that are going on at the time of this new moon that are creating a big impact on your overall energy. And I think that is pretty big. Your public image could be slowing down a little bit right now, and that is with purpose. So Saturn is creating longevity with its square to Jupiter in your 10th. It might even be just changing your status in some way, but I think it's mostly a bit of a restrictive quality for the time being. That's going to change when Jupiter goes direct again. So if you're feeling more restricted in career and public image and reputation, don't worry too much about it. This will pass, and it is one of those contraction before expansion phases that will have you expanding even bigger and brighter when Jupiter is direct and Saturn has moved on. So, big things ahead in 2025. If you would like to look ahead, I have 2025 planners ready. They are mini readings for every new moon and full moon for the entire year per sign. So for Virgo, you get that catered to you. It's about 12 to 15 pages for those mini readings. And then they give you an idea of how to organize your year, which I thought, Virgo, you might like that. And then I get into a Mercury breakdown. So that is your ruler, also very important for Virgos. And you can see each month what Mercury is up to and how to optimize that energy and when to take your foot off of the gas and take a break as well. Also, the void moon, which are the three things that I check religiously before I do anything when it comes to astrology transits. Thank you so much for being here, liking, watching, commenting, subscribing. It really means so much. And if you would like a personal reading, that will also be linked below. Have a wonderful transition into 2025, and I will see you next time. Hi, Libra. This is a fourth house new moon for you. So this is a brand new beginning in your inner world, your home, your family, the family that you came from, especially around this time of year, that you could be reaching a whole new level with how you engage with your family and what home feels like to you. Especially after a big Pluto journey there, you are going to be completely transformed on the inside, and that is going to reflect in your actual home and your relationships with your family members. If you have children, Pluto is now in that position in your chart. Because of Pluto's presence in your fifth house, there is a heavy emphasis on children, fun, pleasure, joy. The changes on the inside now mean you need different ways of experiencing joy. And the fifth house is about your authentic expression, shining your God-given talents. Again, the connection to your fourth house those changes on the inside and how you interact at home, that means that the ways that you enjoy fun, the ways that you express yourself are up for changes now too. You could be embarking on a creative project that is getting a nice boost at this time, and it could be something that about working from home too. This is a wonderful time to gather information from your community and networks. Mars retrograde here means that communities and friends from the past could be coming back. These are people that are more in the acquaintance or allies that are here to help and support you. Your audience, if you have networks that are online, or any kind of audience, if you're publishing. You do have Jupiter in your ninth house too, so there is a connection to publishing and ideas and spirituality and the bird's eye view of life. But this Mars retrograde in your 11th house, opposing Pluto right now, I think creative ideas are going to be fueled by friends from the past. And you could just be revising what you are passionate about and how that aligns with your networks. It makes sense, especially around the holiday time, that there are more social engagements sometimes, and picking and choosing which ones you do are really show you where your priorities are with your friends and what is going to jive with you for the year ahead. Back to the 5th house, if you do have children, this could be a transformational time for them. This could be a time when children come into your life and are part of the transformation of joy. It looks like they're, with Venus here in the 5th house right now, this is where you're enjoying yourself. So children could be part of the pleasure and joy that you are experiencing. Or it could be dating and romance. That is another way that we have fun and are expressing our authentic selves. You are likely starting to feel more progress in aligning your day-to-day life and your health in the way that you want. And that is also part of having fun in a new way, because sometimes some of the ways that we have fun are not so positive for our body or our routines. They can sacrifice our energy and sacrifice our health. You could be really finding that things are kicking into place and you feel more discipline and stamina in that department, and that's going to pay off in your work and your general organization of your day-to-day life. This is a great time for communicating in partnerships. If there are some conversations that need to be had, you have very positive energy from Mercury right now in your house of communication, and it is in a positive connection to Chiron in your 7th house, which indicates that significant relationships, if there are wounds around that, this is a time for healing there. It could be with your thoughts, your ideas, or with the words that you are actually speaking. Overall, Libra, this is a wonderful time to gather ideas from other people. If you are noticing conflicts in your community, your networks, think about it that way, that it is a moment to reflect on what matters to you, reflect on your belief systems, and how the situations that are showing up are bringing attention to certain beliefs that you either do want to move forward with or do not want to move forward with. It's with changing our mind that the internal world has big shifts and your home life has big shifts, which is where this new moon energy is. But I think for you, it has a lot to do with the mental space and the connection to your community and the connection to your belief systems. And good energy to write all of this out. So if you are somebody who is in media or writing or speaking, put this into a project or just write it out for fun, and you might find that you get more information and understand yourself in deeper ways than you did before. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, Libra. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing. If you would like a personal reading or a 2025 planner, a look ahead at next year, check out the website links below, and I will see you next time. Hi, Scorpio. This is the 3rd house new moon for you. So this is a brand new beginning when it comes to your communication, your writing projects, media. siblings, neighbors, close relatives, short distance travel, transportation. However this is showing up for you, any of these topics, all of them, you have been remodeling in some way since 2008. Your style of communication could have completely changed. Your relationships with cousins, siblings, neighbors, you might have faced a lot of challenges in transportation or short distance travel or close connections. And now you're starting to see this new way of moving forward. I think for many of you, this has to do with work, routines, health. That's where the North Node has been in your sixth house. And there is a big activation of the nodes right now. So the node is about to change into a part of life that is a lot more fun for you, which is the fifth house. So you're about to experience more of a focus on creative self-expression, children, fun, pleasure, hobbies, sports, romance, dating. That's a nice emphasis to have. But you have just finished the hard work, or you're wrapping that up right now. I think you're getting like this final activation of the health and routine and business side of things. It looks like the third house communication is very linked to the sixth house work and routine. You have been busy being productive and getting all of your ducks in a row, as they say. The sixth house is a Virgo house, so it reminds me of organization and service. And it's not just hard work, though it is the house of slavery historically, but it's more about putting the effort in to get the results. I think you get to shift focus a little bit and get back into the creative play. The reason that you are probably doing some of this hard background work in the first place is to be able to experience more joy, to get your creative energy out there and to really shine as authentically as possible. This looks really good for Scorpios. You could be facing some challenges with public image and status right now, but that is almost over. This Pluto-Mars opposition is happening for you in the 4th and 10th house. So there's something about expressing who you are on the inside, letting the world see that. How much of your personal life are you going to let others see? Maybe a status that is home related is changing. Your passions about how visible you would like to be could be changing. But this is going to be more of an emphasis on your 9th house, which is your belief systems, how you view the world, foreign places, foreign concepts, maybe even publishing. So Mars, when it goes into Cancer, that's going to be the focus for you until February. And then we get a direct Mars again. So a lot being lit up. It does look like work and writing could be a big thing for a lot of you. And this is a moment where you really get to see how it's going to manifest in the bigger picture and in the longevity of whatever it is that you're developing and working on. Creative energy is not only good right now, but you still have Saturn in your favor, turning that creative energy into something tangible. Do focus on fun over the holidays, Scorpio. You have a lot of work aspects that have been showing up all year, and this new moon is no different. But the holidays, because there's so much emphasis on the fifth house, it is about balancing fun and balancing your creativity and your work. Sometimes just too much discipline with work can dampen the creative flow, and we need to balance the fun to get those creative bubbles coming up to the surface again. Enjoy this new beginning with communication, siblings. It looks like new ideas and public image and having a good time are all part of the mix. Your home life is about to completely transform over the next 20 years, and that could be your internal world. We have been talking about that, and we will continue with the Pluto conversation. But for now, enjoy yourself, enjoy the creative flow. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing. Have a wonderful end of the year. And if you would like more information on 2025, the 2025 planners that I'm selling for $29.95 are linked below, as well as how to get a personal reading with me. I'll see you next time. Hi, Sag. This is a second house new moon for you. So this is all about your worth, your financial worth, your assets, your possessions, the food that you ingest, and your overall energy balance is how I like to look at this house. A new moon here means that you are ready for a fresh start in these topics. And because Pluto has just finished its big transit here, this is a really like a launching pad moment where you are taking everything that Pluto has transformed and creating something new. This could mean that you are implementing a new way of spending your energy, spending your money. Your values could be changing. So, what really matters to you when it comes to what you spend your energy on and what you spend your money on. You might be making a new plan for yourself in 2025. And this would be a wonderful time to write these things down, really map out what you want to commit to when it comes to how you're going to manage these resources. The second house is resources. You might have a new relationship to your possessions and the way that you eat and the type of foods that you eat. This is also a good time to create new routines when it comes to starting a fresh year, a new way, a new relationship with food and energy. The second house is where you might end up letting go of possessions or gaining some new ones. With a new moon, you're more likely to gain new possessions, but sometimes there is an exchange there too, where you're just letting go of some things, gaining new, and essentially reprioritizing. Now, this Pluto-Mars opposition for you is your third and ninth house. Pluto in your third house is now transforming your communication. The way you think about things is where Mars is. It's more about the bigger picture. The way that you manage your mind on a day-to-day basis is the third house. That is the application of thoughts and ideas. Transformative new ideas that can have an impact on your creative self-expression, fun, joy, romance, fifth house topics, where the North Node is finishing up its tour for you. Mercury is in your first house and it is positively aspecting Chiron in your fifth. Any wounds that you have around children, fun, creative expression, hobbies, dating, pleasure, these are going to be positively aspected right now by changes that you were making within yourself. And Mercury rules ideas. So with Mercury in your first house, this looks like a very idea focused new moon for Sages out there. Really take note of even the smallest idea that comes to you. It could actually have a bigger impact on your life and your creativity and fun and self-expression than you realize initially. And home stuff for you, this is where you're going through the Jupiter-Saturn square with home and partnership. There just could be some challenges with constriction and expansion with home-related matters. This could have to do with your internal world and a partnership. This could have to do with an actual home and decisions with a partner. There's a bit of one person wants growth and expansion, and it's likely you that wants more of a conservative approach, more of a disciplined, restrictive approach to the process. This is going to show up different for everybody, but this is the essence of it. This struggle with internal world and home and partnership is going to be a piece of the story. The difference of the one wanting more and expansion and the other wanting to constrict, this could be one of the ingredients in changing your ideas or giving you fresh ideas or making you really question what is important on the inside for you. What do you really value? Because that is what this new moon is all about. So do interpret any conflicts that show up as just the right scenario that you need to start processing what is really important and maybe changing some ideas in a macro and micro way. So it is the bigger belief systems and values that end up changing how you manage your mind and your thoughts on a daily basis. And that is the whole story for you, Sag. Well, I mean, you tell me the missing pieces of the whole story. You're going to know the details. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for commenting and sharing and liking and subscribing. If you would like to know more about what's ahead in 2025 and have some astrology assisted planning, check out my 2025 planner links below, as well as a link for personal readings. Have a wonderful holiday and transition into 2025, and I will see you next time. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your new moon reading. This is a wonderful time to have a new moon, a new fresh start, as you do when the days start to gain light here in the Northern Hemisphere. This is a time when you are on a brand new beginning for yourself, your body. This can sometimes be your health because of the connection to the body. This is in the first house, the tools that you have to move through the world with. So there is something that, well, for all Capricorns out there, there is a lot that has transformed with Pluto. And however Pluto has worked its magic through your life, that is where you are going to find that this is a new moon where you can apply those tools and get different results than you have before. You will probably see more of those results in about 6 months' time when you have a Capricorn full moon. That is when this cycle will reach more of a culminating point. So this is a wonderful time to make new commitments to yourself, learn new things, take a lesson in something that you have been wanting to do, and it will probably benefit your life in ways that you maybe didn't expect. Pluto in your second house now is completely transforming what you value: your money, your resources, how you spend your money. This Mars-Pluto opposition is going to challenge you in how you balance your resources with other people, how you give and receive, what you really value, and what matters to you with deep bonds and intimate connections. A focus on psychological transformation could also be changing what you value. The psyche that we innately have is usually one that is passed down through other people, one that we have experienced through our families or through those that are closest to us. It is when we go on an adventure to reprogram our psyches and choose what we want, then you might notice that what you value is not what your family values, it's not what your friends value, it is something completely different. That is also something that can change throughout life, throughout phases, and depending on what phase of life you're in and what you are prioritizing. You might have gone through a period where you were having more lavish spending with Venus in your second house, or the things that you value are really things that bring beauty and pleasure to your life rather than just being disciplined and responsible. There is a practicality to Capricorn that you will spend your money on things that make sense in some sort of practical function. When Venus is here, where it's been for the past month, this is a time where it might just be more about pleasure and beauty and an experience than the typical practical stuff. Mercury is still in Sagittarius for you, which is your 12th house. This is an area where communication can be more secretive. It can be behind closed doors. There can be some missing pieces in your ideas and your communication. This can have to do with overseas, faraway places, retreat. So you might be feeling a bit more sluggish when it comes to communication, or you're having more conversations with people overseas. There's beautiful aspects to Chiron in your 4th house. So this is a healing energy, whatever is going on. Maybe it is communication behind closed doors. It could be subconscious work as well and intuitive work that you are doing. And that has a bigger purpose as well, as far as healing your inner world, healing any wounds related to home and family. It could be something that you have been focusing on more lately. The way you use your mind on a day-to-day basis, the things you say, your writing, and your daily habits, routines, work-related stuff, there is some impact in those places of your life during this moon. You might be holding back what you say as a way to get work done or manage certain work environments or relationships. You might just be healing habits and health related stuff, and there are some challenging conversations that need to be had around that. So, this is more of an area of challenge, and the details will be different for everybody. But because there's so much emphasis on what you value during this moon, keep that as the focus of any challenges that come up, that these are designed to make you take a look at your values and your resources, your deep connections, what's working, what's not working, what you'd like to change for the year ahead, and put it all into that dialogue and compartment of your life. And you'll see how some of these conflicts are helping you along the way in some ways. Happy birthday to Capricorns out there. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing. It really means so much. I hope you're having a wonderful wrap up to 2024 and amazing beginning to 2025. If you would like to know more about the year ahead and plan for the year ahead, check out my 2025 planners in the link below, still on sale for $29.95. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, that will also be linked there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Hi, Aquarius. This is a 12th house new moon for you. So this could be that what is happening, what is starting, is something that is your blind spot. This is the house that is hidden from us. This could be your subconscious. This could be your connection to energy and intuition, subconscious realms. This is overseas places, hidden places, places removed from society. This is where you rest. This is your bedroom. This is essentially better explained, I think, by the axis of the 6th house and the 12th house, which means connected and involved and of service, disconnected, dissociated, dispersed, not functional, rest, retreat, work, balance, those sort of topics. This removed from society, dissociated, disconnected, this could be a new beginning with the way that you rest and disconnect from the world. You are about to go through a 20-year Pluto journey. I guess we have 18, 19 years left now, but this transformation could have a lot to do with psychic development. This could be the beginning of something like that. You are likely going to face some challenges or polarizations in partnership. Pluto is in your house and Mars is opposing Pluto in your 7th house of partnership. This could be passionate. Mars is retrograde. This gives Mars more of a feeling of wanting something but not quite getting there. That could be a feeling that shows up in your partnerships. If anything does show up, because this is an opposition and this is polarizations that need to be balanced, think of it as one, how do you practice balancing yourself with another? That's always going to be the topic of the 1st and 7th house. But also, what is it that you are passionate about relationships? What is it that motivates you? What is it that strikes a fire? The rectangular shape is activating communication for you. Your beliefs about the world, those are likely being asked to change right now or expand or just let go of something that really is outdated and not matching with where you are currently at. When it comes to your beliefs, that is, when it comes to how you think of the world and how the world works. This looks like it, for some of you, there could be a lot of spiritual shifting happening at the moment. With this 12th house activity, 9th house, this really is about maybe foreign places in a practical sense foreign ideas and concepts and travel and airplanes and overseas. But if it isn't travel, then there's something that is energetically more related to a spiritual process, connection to the unseen realm. What you value and how you feel about your resources is something that could be creating challenges for your ability to have fun and enjoy pleasure, maybe to do with relationships, maybe to do with children. The demands of pleasure are still quite high. They will be for a while. You will also just be enjoying more pleasure and creativity, but there's something that's pushing the brakes in your second house with what you value and your resources that is making you question the balance between those two areas of your chart. I would say with energy like this, the way it's showing up, get in touch with more of your intuitive guidance. Find some divination and tools to work with that can help guide you in the direction that aligns your values to your fun and your creativity. That's also going to play out in your relationships too. So think about that. Think about what you really value and what is truly fun for you. And whatever's going on in partnerships should find some middle ground there. Though challenges are necessary, they are necessary for transformation. And everything that happens for the next 18 years is going to somehow be about transforming yourself, the tools that you have to work towards what you want, and who you are as a person, your health, your body. Always keep that in the back of your mind with, like I said, whatever shows up. Yeah, overall, you're protected no matter what with Jupiter in your fifth house for fun and joy and pleasure and creative expression. So enjoy this time, Aquarius. I hope that you are having a wonderful transition into 2025. If you would like to chat more about your personal chart, or you want a 2025 planner for $29.95 for your sign, check out the links in the description below. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, chatting with me in the comments below. It really means so much, and I will see you next time. Hi, Pisces. This is a new moon in your 11th house. So this ultimately is a new beginning when it comes to your networks, community, alliances, people that are here to support and help you in life. This can be an area of life where a long-held wish or dream comes true. The 11th house is generally seen as a very positive, lovely house of connection and the benefits that we derive from connection. But the bigger story that has been going on for quite some time and is somehow connected to this new beginning with your networks is the Pluto-Mars opposition in your 6th and 12th house. Mars is retrograding in your 6th house still at the time of this new moon. Soon after, it will be in your house of partnerships. But for now, it is about work, productivity, employees, people that you encounter in your day-to-day life, habits, health, routines, organization. It's the little things that we do every day of service to others and of service to ourselves. The 12th house, where Pluto is, and this is the much bigger journey, is all about time away from the rest of the world, that which is hidden, your subconscious, your energetic connections to the world, to yourself, intuition. There is some balancing that is being required from these two places. Because Mars is retrograde, I suspect this is either something from the past with health routines, work-related, employee-related topics. There could be frustrations that you experience in this area of your life. You might find that it comes in waves. You might find that your passion wanes a little bit for some of those things like routine and health or work motivation. If that is the case, then this waning is an opportunity to reprioritize what really matters so that your passions can be reignited. And it's going to have something to do with these 12th house matters. It will have to do with your intuition, your spiritual connection to unseen realms, your ability to rest and take a break from it all. Health and work-related issues can be exhausting. They can be the type of, especially if you're someone that has employees or you're monitoring health related stuff, it is the kind of thing that you sometimes are not ever able to take a break from. It is always in the back of your mind. So it could be as simple as this, that you're exercising more time away and true rest, or tapping into your intuition to manage these situations differently. Either way, Venus also touring through your 12th house is giving you pleasure out of pleasure, joy, and more of a beautiful experience out of this time away. You might even have new ways of connecting to the subconscious and connecting to unseen realms. It looks like, definitely looks like a possibility of how this energy could show up. Venus will move into your sign, Pisces, in early January, and that is a lovely energy to embody. There's always other stuff going on, but the month that you have Venus in your sign, wonderful time to get haircuts, buy new clothes, do whatever it is that you feel drawn to express the new and updated energy on the inside. And you'll just, can be a lucky streak. When it's in your first and second house, I find that whatever lovely items you want to buy, they just happen to be there. And it can be a time where you're spending more money on your health and nice new clothes, but there are things that you really love and value, and it's worth the splurge if that's the case. Pisces, for you, the Jupiter square Saturn is happening from your 4th house to your 1st house. And I think that this is a time where your inner desires can be calling for more expansion, but there is a quality of restriction and discipline that you have been working on for quite some time when it comes to your body, who you are as a person, your energy, the energy you want to share. Maybe it's home and family. It could just be home and family that are demanding more of your energy and challenging those energetic boundaries that you are working to create when it comes to how much energy you dissipate out to those that you love and those that matter most to you. It could be that other inner desires are boiling up and there is a balancing act that's happening, or a conflict of some kind between sort of discipline and restructuring you have been working on and what you truly deeply want on the inside to satisfy an energy of expansion. Ultimately, this is a healing energy when it comes to Jupiter and Saturn. It's just that there might be these more conflicting squares tend to show us where the middle ground is, and it is a piece of adopting a new way of being that really works and clicks, because sometimes Saturn comes in and it is too slow and too disciplined and too restricted. That doesn't really work in the long run. So by balancing this expansion, you have a bit more longevity to the restrictive energy that you are trying to embody at this time. Your values are, there's some wound around what you value that is healing with your public image, maybe something that you are talking about in the public, maybe your status is changing. This is a smaller piece of the story, but I do think it's significant to mention with Chiron in your 2nd house, a wound around money and maybe your energy. I get this could be very connected to the Saturn story of managing your energy, where there has been a wound of too much outward expression with the 10th house, and that's where Mercury is. So you might be just holding back on your communication. You've reworked some things since the Mercury retrograde we had for the past month that went direct on December 15th. Now you're feeling like the words that you use or the way that you feel about your public image is changing in some way, and that is aligning with your values better. And you're figuring out this balance of give and take of energy with your home life, your family, your inner world, and who you are and the tools that you have. That's how I would summarize it for you, Pisces. Enjoy the holiday season. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Let me know how things are going in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing, And if you would like 2025 planners so that you can see ahead for the new moons and full moons all of 2025, or a personal reading with me, I will leave both of those links in the description below. And I will see you next time. Hi, Aries. This is a 10th house new moon for you. This is a brand new beginning with your public image, status, career, visibility. This could be a new chapter where you are getting more recognition for the work that you do. This is a house where you can be recognized for achievements and getting awards, and wonderful place to have a new moon. It could just be that you are embarking on a new career, new way of being seen in the world. The big story, though, is this Pluto-Mars opposition happening in your 11th and 5th house. That means that creativity and having an audience, your friends, your networks, there's a lot of energy for you of being seen, being out there. An audience could be growing, complete transformation in your networks. This opposition with Mars in your 5th house also being retrograde, this is about being more authentically you. This is about your creative talents. This could be about children. This could be about fun, creativity, play, hobbies. But ultimately, when we are aligned with what is a true match for our creative essence, then that is an element of joy and play and pleasure that we have in life. So you're going to be doing some reworking of who those groups of people are that really support you, who your audience is, how you want to be seen, how you are seen. There is some healing around self with Chiron in your 1st house. And that seems to be related to new ideas about how the world works. You're embracing new concepts since the Mercury retrograde that ended around December 15th. This was somehow a transformational experience in bringing in foreign concepts and foreign ideas. Maybe even in a literal sense, this can be publishing or academia or education of some kind. But for Aries out there, it is transforming part of a wound that you have been holding on to around self. So this new moon looks a lot like self-expression is the main topic. And the self-expression and being aligned with what matters to you and your creative joy, that's going to create a ripple effect of changes in the people that surround you, support you, and your status. The Jupiter-Saturn square for you is happening in your 3rd and 12th house. There could be something that was hidden that comes to light. There could be some writing and ways of speaking that are being revised. You're realizing that there's some subconscious influence in the way that you write or speak. This is a tricky area to talk about with the aspects that are happening here in the area of your chart that it's showing up in. It could be that siblings, transportation, short distance travel, cousins and close relatives, that there's something there that challenges your subconscious and makes you rework and restructure something that you didn't see before. I would look at this as an experience of any challenges that do show up in communication. Do keep an eye out if it's with a sibling or a close relative or a neighbor or road rage or something like that. Think about this in the context of what's going on in your subconscious reactions, and there could be some lovely transformations that come of that. However this plays out for you, Aries, you are on a lovely journey of transformation at the time of this new moon. I think for you, it's a lot of self, and then who are the people that support you, that make you feel good and are really aligned with who you are. Thank you so much for being here, liking, subscribing, watching, commenting. It really means a lot. I hope that the end of 2024 is going super well for you. If you would like to see the year ahead, I am now selling my 2025 planners for $29.95 Canadian. They are a mini new moon and full moon reading for each sign for the entire year, plus some Mercury information. That and a link to booking a reading if you're interested in that will be in the description below. Have a wonderful New Year's, and I will see you next time. Hi, Taurus. This is a 9th house new moon for you. This is a place in your chart where it is all about foreign places, foreign concepts, spiritual beliefs. You are integrating a new mindset and a new way of viewing the world. Over the next 6 months, you could completely change your perspectives of the world and have a new spiritual approach, or be reminded of an old one and bring that back. A big piece of this story is the Mars-Pluto opposition happening in your 4th house and your 10th house. So with you, this has to do with balancing your inner world and your public image. With Mars in the 4th house, this can be a time where you're processing more anger from the past, more anger from your family, feelings of frustration, maybe lack of motivation because Mars is retrograde. There could be a revision of your passions and what matters to you when with home-related family topics. Someone at home could be part of more frustration or making you revise what matters to you in your home experience. This is a time where you could be analyzing who you are on the inside and what you show the world. Is there alignment there? Is there some misalignment? The more aligned we are with who we are on the inside and what we express outward, the easier the energy is. The more that we need to contort our inner worlds to reflect something to other people that is going to, that we think might be better accepted, the more exhausting that is, the more you deplete yourself. We're also in a time now where we are being tested in really feeling through what is real and authentic and what is AI created or words and expression. And this counts with people as well. The difference between real and robot fabricated is getting slimmer and slimmer. There is some crossover with the personas that we put out to the world, and that we are now at a place in humanity where we're seeing through what's just generated appearance and what is really authentic. And the goal is authenticity. There's stronger, truer connections that matter and last longer. Speaking of connection, Venus is about to go into your 11th house, and this is a time in January where you're going to be enjoying more connection with friends, community, networks. It's a time where people in your networks could be more supportive of you, and there could be some financial benefit there as well. With Venus in your 11th house, this is also a time where your friends need to align with your values. That's where more of the fun and pleasure will come. There is some energy here, Taurus, with your psyche and your 8th house. So this could be other people's resources. This could be transforming yourself. This is the death and birth and rebirth part of your chart. It's in a lovely aspect with Chiron in your 12th. So this makes me think that this is more about your subconscious material. There's some healing there. It could be that you come across information that reminds you of something, or you just apply some things differently, or you're paying attention to more of that energetic process that's going on behind the scenes. So you do have Venus going into your 11th house in January. At the time of this new moon, you also have the Jupiter-Saturn square happening from your 2nd house to your 11th. This is another energy where what you value is going to be challenged with your networks and community. You might be the one challenging the people that surround you, and there might create some conflict. If that happens, then this is an opportunity to reflect on that inner and outer world. Are you truly authentically aligning with what is on the inside and reflecting that outward to your networks and community? Or is there some misalignment there? this is going to be a moment that helps, even if there is friction, that helps make sure that the community and networks you surround yourself with are people that share similar values that are important to you, especially as a Taurus, because the second house where Jupiter is the natural domain of Taurus energy. Taurus, more than some other signs, are very clear and strong on their values, and that needs to be aligned in connection and community too. Ultimately, though, Taurus, this new moon is about changing your mindset, your beliefs about the world. If spirituality of some kind is a part of that, this can be the case around this time. It could be publishing, academia, something related to higher education as well. And for some of you, this has to do with actual foreign places and foreign people and travel. It can show up in a lot of different ways on the physical level. Again, ultimately a space for revamping your mindset. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing. It really means so much. Have a wonderful holiday season and transition into 2025. And if you would like to look ahead at new moons and full moons for all of 2025, I am leaving a link to my $29.95 planners based on each sign, as well as always to book a Zoom reading with me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.